Clay Patton on the Rural Radio Network here with a check of your Midwest Sheep and Goat Market Report for the week ending December the 2nd. First off, thank you to Moline Seed and Fence. They're proud to sponsor the Midwest Sheep and Goat Market Report. Moline Seed and Fence is your local dealer for Riviera custom gates, goated sheep pens, along with Mountain View sheep and goat equipment. You can see their full list of products and the deals they have running right now at MolineSeedandFence.com. That's Moline Seed and Fence, your sponsor of the Midwest Sheep and Goat Market Report. For the week ending December 2nd, though, we come off the holiday break fairly strong. Prime midweight slaughter lambs and goats continue to bring the big prices on the lambs. Several sales noting over $300 a hundredweight plus prices on those 50 to 70 pound lambs. For goats in that 20 to 40 pound range, we saw more sales as a whole reaching that $400 a hundredweight range. The breeding market was also fairly aggressive this week for a thinner volume of livestock being sold as bred stock. That comes as the Midwest continues to be an ongoing drought, and it's one of the biggest threats right now to the market. We have to have somewhere for the stock to go and feed to feed them. Meanwhile, consumer demand and pricing threatens the market from a broader global perspective. Australia appears to be having a decent growing season with minimal reports of drought or other impacts to their livestock herds. For consumer demand, though, chicken prices may be back on the rise with new reports of highly pathogenic avian influenza being reported in domestic flocks across the U.S. Helping offset consumer concerns is the latest labor market data showing that wages are still on the rise nationally. So consumers are still buying what they want, and the seasonality of the market seems to be able to overcome a lot of the issues that could send the market lower. As we look at highlighted quotes this week, we go to Colby Livestock there in Kansas, selling 5 head of boar goats. The slaughter size weighing 40 pounds for $405 a hundredweight. That's $162 a head. Kelowna, Iowa, sold 76 head of 63-pound wool lambs for $293 a hundredweight. That's $184 a head. The upper end of that draft in Kelowna brought $335 a hundredweight. Again, for wool lambs, that's $211 a head. Kelowna also sold 55 head of 55-pound slaughter goats for $381 a hundredweight, $210 a head. The upper end of the draft bringing $230 a head, or $418 a hundredweight. That again on 55-pound goats. Centennial Livestock in Fort Collins sold 16 head of heavy goat wethers weighing 115 pounds for $370 a head, or $321 a hundredweight. Sioux Falls Regional Livestock sold 93 head of 61-pound wool lambs for $348 a hundredweight, or $212 a head. The upper end of the draft bringing $355 a hundredweight, or $216 a head. Sioux Falls Livestock also sold 9 head of 2 to 4 year old breeding wool ewes weighing 232 pounds for $225 a head. On that breeding stock, Sioux Falls sold 20 head of bred 137-pound 2 to 4 year old does. They brought $275 a head. Producers Livestock in San Angelo sold 4 head of 45-pound hair lambs for $352 a hundredweight, or $158 a head. Retail data on the week from USDA for the week of December 2nd shows that the lamb and veal retail activity index 43.8% higher versus the prior week. Feature rates up 1.7%. Special rate, though, 4% higher. Lamb cuts reported 40.57% increase. For the week, roast ad space was sharply lower, while chop ad space was sharply higher. Lamb features offered more ad space for shoulder round bone chops, loin ground lamb as a whole, shank, and stew meat lamb. If you're looking at your input side, the grain markets were lower this week. December future contracts went into delivery and likely highlighted the futures were over the cash markets, especially on markets like soybean oil, which saw a higher than usual amount of contracts delivered. Soybean prices still remained relatively unchanged on the week as traders preferred to sell more corn and wheat. The EPA released their latest renewable fuel standard and did little to increase the blending requirements, which signaled to the market there could be no increase in demand for grains as biofuels. Prices are maybe poised to move higher next week, though, as Russia continues its assault on Ukraine and Argentina contends with drought. They're planning progress on the soybeans. Now at only about 29% complete, they're usually closer to 40 to 50% complete this time of year. Well, not to sound like a broken record, but let's go to the hay market. Nebraska, Kansas, Iowa, South Dakota, and Colorado. Firm, $10 to $20 a higher on that premium and high-quality alfalfa versus the prior week, or last 2 weeks, really, with the holiday in there. So again, kind of sounds like we don't hear anything new. Tight supplies, high prices in the hay market. Very little looks to change in the near future. Colorado Hay did, though, report that feedlots and dairies in their region, though, look to have taken their lumps. They've went ahead and secured what they need and have a majority of their winter needs secured. Now they're just working on getting that hay delivered. On your slaughter this week, lamb slaughter 37,000 head through Saturday, an increase of 8,000 head from last week. That's down, though, 4,000 head from last year. So on the whole, we're at 1.61 million head slaughtered this year, 9.5% or 168,000 head back of the prior year. Now, it's interesting. Cattle slaughter has outpaced last year. Lean hog has stayed hog slaughter has stayed right there with where they were a year ago. Live lamb weights this week, 126 pounds. That was unchanged from last week, down 2 pounds, though, from last year. So we're staying fairly current on that market, despite the fact we're killing 10% less lambs. Dressed lambs, the weight this week was 64 pounds, unchanged from last week, up 1 pound from last year. Goat slaughter under federal inspection for the week, 9,604 head. Let's recap that regional price for you. On the wool, lambs, 20 to 40 pounds, 210 to 255 a hundredweight. Meanwhile, the 40 to 70 pound wool lambs brought anywhere from 140 to 335 a hundredweight. 70 pounds and up, 160 to 305 a hundredweight. Hair lambs, 20 to 40 pounds, 200 to 350 a hundredweight. 40 to 70 pounds, 207 to 380 a hundredweight. 70 pounds and up, 140 to 250 a hundredweight. On the wool ewes, the stocker side, $115 to $225 a head. The slaughter ewes, $50 to $140 a hundredweight. On the slaughter rams for the wool side, $50 to $130 a hundredweight. On the hair ewe side, hair ewes, replacement quality, brought anywhere from $150 to $225 a head. Slaughter ewes, $65 to $140. Hair rams, $100 to $200 a hundredweight. On the kid goats, we had the 20 to 40 pounders, $200 to $415 a hundredweight. 40 to 70 pound kid goats, $200 to $418 a hundredweight. 70 pounds and up, $200 to $300 a hundredweight. On the wethers, 70 pounds and up, $225 to $321 a hundredweight. Slaughter does, medium to fleshy, $125 to $270 a head. Replacement does, $130 to $275 a head. On the slaughter bucks, $130 to $267 a hundredweight. Not enough breeding bucks for a comparable trade this week. And that is the latest in your Midwest Sheep and Goat Market Report. Whether you're listening to us on Spotify or at ruralradionetwork.com, we appreciate your continued listenership. Have a great rest of your day.